Hey guys, it's Brenda. How you all doing? It is Saturday and I hope you are all having a wonderful day, enjoying your weekend. I just popped on to give you a heads up on what's going on with the hidden spine. Um, this is the beautiful 1800s book that I am turning into a journal. And what I have done after I turned off the video last time was decided to put some fabric on over the Tyvek, and I did that, and it does show through a little bit, but I don't think that's going to matter because I thought about putting this on either side, but as it turns out, I think I cut it just a little too small, so I'm going to try to get another piece. And this is what we made, and I sort of mitered the corners on this, and I don't like the corners mitered like I did, so that's another thing that I don't like about what's going on right now. So my thought is I am going to do another paper, another designer paper. I think I am going to, if I do this, I think I'm going to not miter the corners. So I will just make one that's, that stays straight. But then I had another thought, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to put this aside for now, and on the Outpost, Pam at the Paper Outpost, I watched her do something totally different for the spine, and I thought I would give it a try. So I am pulling out my stash here, and I already painted this with some black gesso. This is Bob Ross black gesso. It's a big bottle, and I probably will never use it, but that's what it looks like. And I only painted the one side because that's the only side that's going to show. And then I got this watercolor liquid metal, and I got a few of them at a thrift store. I've got pearl white, copper, and silver, and it's, let's see, Sargent Art. It's Sargent Art watercolor liquid metal. Never used it before. Don't know what it's gonna look like, but I do have it in gold, and thought I would give it a try to sort of show you what Pam did for her hidden spine. So what I thought about doing was I have these two papers that I thought about trying. So I've got this style here and this style here. So I also have a stencil that sort of, to me, goes with this paper. Don't know if you can see that. But anyway, I thought this would go with this paper if I decided to use it like this. And this one here, I thought would go with this paper. So I just have to decide which one I want to do, because what Pam did was take the gold and stenciled it onto her black gessoed spine. So I think what I want to do is choose which one I want out of these two, and I'm not sure. Oh no, let's see. I think I'll go with this one. Just make up my mind and pick one, choose one. So, since I'm going to with this paper, I'm going to choose this stencil, and I am going to try to decorate it with this liquid gold, whatever it does, and see what happens. So, like I said, I took my spine, I painted it with the black gesso, I let it dry, and now I'm going to try to attempt to apply the gold. And the reason I am doing this is because, for those of you who may not know, the reason I want to decorate the spine is, see how you can see in between the signatures, you can get glimpses of your spine. So I want to make sure that it is a little bit decorated. So that's why I am doing this in the first place. So since this is watercolor, I'm going to squirt it with some water and see what happens if I try to stencil it on. I've got my little sponge here, a little makeup sponge. I didn't have anything else that I thought would do, and I don't know if that's gonna, well, here goes. Here goes, I'm on camera, right? I'm just daubing along. Don't know what it's gonna look like, but we'll see what happens. Don't know if I got enough. I'm going to turn it this way and daub all the way to the end. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. I think that will be fine and allow that to dry. I think I'm going to like it. Can you guys see? Don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. So let me wipe this off real quick. I don't know what that will do to my stencil. Grabbing a wipe. So that doesn't work too bad, the watercolor. Just spray some water on it and use a sponge, and it doesn't look too bad to me. Okay, so let's see what happens when it dries. I'm going to put this all aside. And when it dries, we will see what it looks like with the paper, the designer paper that I chose. So I'm going to set this aside for just a little bit. If I had my heat gun set up, I could have used that, but I don't. And just to let you know, my papers came from Antiquity Cardstock, and I got this at Hobby Lobby because it's the Paper Studio. Got it on sale for $4.49, and I'm not sure if they still have it there, but all the pages are a kind of gold. pearls and roses. So that's where I got that from. And can't keep this clean. So, and the reason I meant to tell you also, the reason that I decided to put fabric over the Tyvek is because I wasn't sure gluing the cardstock right to the Tyvek. I wasn't sure how it was going to be good at holding. So I decided I'd better put some fabric down. So I will be placing this on either side, and I think that goes pretty good with the gold. And then I'm going to try to cut it to the right length and hopefully have enough to put one on each side. Where's my ruler? So I need this to be eight and a half tall. Well, no, I think that's 9. So 9 tall, and I'm starting right at the edge of, I don't want to start right on the edge. I want to start right where the fold over starts on the book. So it should be, I would think, 5.5 would do okay. So let's go 9 by 5.5, see what happens. Okay, set this aside. So, am I gonna need, I think I'm gonna need 2 of these because I want it to go up and down. So anyway, let's do 9. 9 tall. Which is right about this new thing that I have, this new cutter that I have. I just cannot see the, oh, okay, that's right. And what'd I say, 5.5? 5.5. Or 5 3/4 maybe. Let's try 5 3/4. And if I need to cut some, I can. Five and 3/4. What did I do? That's right. That's right, I just didn't cut enough off. What am I doing? I am so sorry. I want to go 5 3/4. Okay. I don't want to go that way, but I just made it shorter, didn't I? Okay. That way is way too short, so I'm gonna have to get another piece. And then I'm going to probably have to What a goofball, I swear. I don't know how many pieces I even had of that. That's not it. I probably only had one piece to begin with. Oh my goodness. That's, oh, I got two more. Whew. Oh my. Saved. Saved. I just can't cut it right. That's the only thing. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. 9 tall. So, make sure they're both going the same way. I'm cutting them both at the same time. So I want 9 tall. There's the 9. I can barely see it, but I think that's the 9. It's right before the 10. Okay. 9 tall. Perfect. Okay, so if I do that, I am going to take my pencil and draw a little mark right beside the edge. And that will be the width. Let's try it that way. I can see my, I'm sorry guys, I'm just as blind as can be in these glasses. Let's try it this way. We'll try this again. I think we may have it this time. So let's see. What a goober. Okay. This one here, this one here. Perfect. So let me see if our how that dried. Okay, not looking bad. I'm just gonna lay it right in the middle here. And I have okay, I like it. I really think that I'm going to like it this way. To me, it just looks more clean cut and where's my, what did I do? Oh, here it is. I really think I like this better than this. What do you guys think? Just, you know, drop me a comment below if you think you like it this way better. I think it just looks better to me. So I am going to go with this. I love the way this gold goes with this gold. And this is what the inside is going to look like. I have decided, but if anybody tells me any different, I will definitely take your opinion into account, okay? I definitely love your all's opinion. So, as it stands right now, this is the way I'm going to put it together. Now, the signatures, I think I am going to at least put them together offline because, you know, that can get kind of boring if you're just going through paperwork. You know, if you guys don't mind, I'll just do that offline and get all the signatures together. And I think I'm going to have 7. And then after I get them all together, then I'll show you 1 or 2 of them to show you what I have put together. Now, next order of business. Well, let me do this real quick. Okay, this is something, get this out of the way. This is something that my youngest son did on his wood turning. He's practicing along with his dad, and he helps out his dad every now and again when dad can't see something really good and has a problem. So anyway, he crafted this, and what he was thinking about was a chess piece. Now, I don't know if he said this was a queen or a pawn, or I know absolutely nothing about chess. So anyway, he thought it would make a cute little ink dauber. So I told him that I would show y'all what it would look like as an ink dauber. And I didn't want to put it on, I didn't want to attach it because, if everybody decides, oh, I don't know about that, it handles nice. It is, of course, a little smaller. Like if you have petite hands, you might want this instead, but I love my chunky one, but a petite person might want something a little smaller. I mean, the Tim Holtz ones are just as thin, I think, as this. So anyway, if anybody's interested in a little chess piece, it doesn't have to be a queen. It maybe could be, what else is there? A pawn or a king, or I know nothing about chess. So anyway, I told him I would mention it, and I did. So there you go. He did a wonderful job. I love it. But it's up to you all. So there you go. I think that's all I needed, or all I had for today. I just wanted to pop on and show you all. Oh, one more thing. Just one more thing. If you don't mind, I wanted to just mention that I do have these. I have these in my shop. These are the ephemera. These are all vintage ephemera, and it has just a bunch of everything in here. It has the it has my my tag there. Things like let's see, this looks like a payment of some kind, and that is from 1955. So there's a payment. A couple of things like Duke Power. I threw in some vintage game pieces, some little cents, whatever you want to call that. Here is a prescription. Here is a letter, a vintage letter, and I'm not sure, I don't know if I see a date on that. I know it's vintage, but I don't see a date. So you get a letter, and these are all, I made up 6 packs of these, and they're about all the similar things. This is, I don't know, Brown Rogers Company, some kind of receipt. Got some vintage paper, some vintage other kind, whatever you would want to call this, subject, occasion, place, comments, statement from Statesville Flour Mills Company. And this is 1948. Vintage books are like 1800s. the vintage book pages are like 1800s, early 1900s, most of them. So some book pages, some stamps, some receipts from 1950, Phillips Stone and Company, wholesale grocer. I got a Yahtzee score paper, Swedish foreign book pages, an envelope from 1948, vintage envelope from 1948. We got some 1948 Mount Airy Produce Exchange, fruits and produce. I've stuck in some vintage paper, some vintage book page, more book page, a lot of different styles and colors of book page. More book page, ledger, it's another book page. Different foreign languages, dictionary page, some advertisement pages, I call a vintage little sack. It's got the cars on it. We have a huge Armour and Company, an invoice from Armour and Company. This is this one looks like, what is this? I'm trying to see what it is. I know it's a cartoon, and it's a Kenner color slide. Let's see, made and printed in the USA. And 1963. So this is a color slide from 1963. And that has like cartoon characters. There's one in each package. Vintage gardening book. The vintage bingo cards, paper cards. Vintage, some things are folded to fit in the package, only folded once. So atlas, vintage atlas. We have a vintage ledger from, I don't know if I see a date on this one. Not sure what the date is. I know it's very vintage, that I can tell you. So ledger, Sears catalog, advertisement, some instruction book page, how to install lighting fixtures, very vintage. This is another vintage book. I think it's from the 1800s. I'm pretty sure it is, but sets for the student to write up. And I just love the graphics and stuff on these pages. Communication planner, vintage sheet of paper, typewriter, vintage typewriter book, vintage farmer's calendar, 1821, vintage bird book, and some different kinds of vintage paper. Onion skin, some, I'm not sure what that's called, school line paper, another piece of, out of a typewriter book, the typing. Another piece of ledger, this one's from 1910. Very cool. And this is some cardstock to hold everything in sturdy place, and you can of course also use that in your crafting. So these are the packages that I have, 6 of them in my shop, and that is what is included in each one. They are typically the same, but not exactly what you see here, but the same kind of ephemera that you see here. So this is in my shop, and I just wanted to give you a look-see at all that is included. I think there is like 50 plus pieces of ephemera to use for in your journals, in your collages, in your making ephemera, whatever you do. Craft-wise, you could use these for a lot of different things. So anyway, that is what I have in my shop at this time. So I will put this all back together, package it back up, and it is all ready for 6 customers. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for popping in and seeing what's going on. I will be working on that book, getting the signatures together, and I will see you next time around. You guys, I hope you have a blessed, safe weekend, and I hope to see you soon. I'm so sorry about all the in my vocabulary these days. Oh, I want to tell you one thing, just one little short story. Yesterday, I was all by myself here, except for my granddaughter, who is 6. And we have 2 dogs, and they're part Aussie, I don't know what they're called, shepherds, I guess, Aussie shepherds, and they're rescue dogs. So we have our lawn out back is all electric fence, so they don't go off our property. Well, I had mine out going to go potty yesterday, and the neighbor's dog used to have 4 pit bulls. Now is down to 2, thank goodness. But let me tell you, I love pit bulls if they are, you know, brought up right. They can be wonderful pets. I had 2 pitadors, which is Pit Bull Labrador, and they were the sweetest dogs. But anyway, the one pit bull got loose while my dogs were in my yard, and she just came, the pit bull came barreling over here and immediately started fighting with my 2 dogs. Well, here I am, the only one home, screaming at the top of my lungs, and I can hardly open my mouth to get a fork in, let alone screaming at my dogs. It hurt so bad. But finally, the guy next door, he yelled like maybe 2 or 3 times, and the pit bull, just took off a running. And I finally called my 2 dogs in on the porch. But my heart was just a-racing. I had no idea if any of my 2 were torn up, or if she was hurt, the one that took off. So anyway, that was my excitement, but it took me forever to calm down after that little episode. And, you know, I think about my granddaughter all the time, being out there and her getting loose and just coming over to our yard. So anyway, that's my little episode from yesterday. I just wanted to throw that in there. But anyway, like I said, I love all animals. I just, you know, that took me a long time to settle down after that. So anyway, I just wanted to say have a blessed weekend, and we will see you again soon. And we need to start working on some ephemera pieces too. So there you go. I will talk to you again soon. Love you all. Thank you all. Bye-bye for now.